Welcome to the Fly You Fools podcast, the podcast that talks a little about J.R.R. Tolkien and his work, and a lot about everything else. Enjoy this time with your fellow fools, Tibbs K, Jacob, and Cooper. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Hello, Craig.
Hello, Craig. So, John, I see you. You decided to go to the gym, and I guess give up your dream of becoming a hilarious comedian.
No. Fuck you. No, absolutely not. Not how this works. I'm still on my way to becoming a hilarious comedian for sure.
You went to a gym?
Dude, yes. I've been going to the gym. Fuck you guys, dude.
How dare you go to the gym and not CrossFit, John?
I don't have a CrossFit membership anymore.
That's true. CrossFit's expensive.
It ended in January.
Oh.
Because I only got 3 months and I started in November, December, January.
Why didn't you go at all in January?
I did go like twice.
Oh.
But I mean, because honestly, Cooper, and here's the real truth of it, is that it hurts my back.
Too many deadlifts.
And I know I'm doing it wrong, but just in the time that I did it, I would go home and take Epsom salt baths, and it just would not do anything. And then I just lay in bed incapacitated, and then I'd get there the next day, and it'd be like, "All right, guys, we're doing back exercises." I'm like, "Fuck." I just felt like an old man. I got there to lose weight, not to break my spine into it.
You were just eating it.
Well, no, and the thing is if you love lifting weights, that's exactly what Cooper says. That's the sport of lifting weights.
True.
It's and I'm like, I don't love lifting weights. I do it because I want to.
So what do you do at the gym?
Today it was cardio. To be honest, it's a lot of cardio.
Cardio is bomb, honestly. I like cardio the best.
I mean, I feel the best after it.
Yeah, cardio gets you going.
You feel good.
Dude, my big problem is though, and this is I hate the drive. I live too far away from the gym. It's like a 30-minute drive both ways. And I really want I don't want to
24/7?
Yeah, 24-hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Jacob was making fun of earlier, I never want to choose between doing a stand-up show and going to the gym.
Yeah. You always got to go to the stand-up
now.
Yeah.
I would love to go to stand-up 4 or 5 times a week for sure.
Yeah.
But the problem is I got a new job. I don't know if I told you guys.
Yeah.
Started.
You mentioned that. So how is it?
You got to talk about that.
Oh, dude, it's just. I mean, it's first week of any job is just sitting there clicking through a PowerPoint. This is how you use an email. Yeah, come on, guys. We were supposed to call people today and start finally doing sales stuff, and then my boss's daughter got sick, and so we just didn't do anything. All day long, we were looking at each other the new guys. We were like, "Hey, are you doing anything right now?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, "I'm not either." And they're like, "Should we ask?" And I was like, we should.
What do you do? How do you do that? I'm just imagining an episode of The Office, and you're just doing shit.
The thing is, it's a huge company, multiple different teams, and it's it's not a huge company, but there's 1,000 people that work there in the one building. So no one's behind your back saying you don't have a boss or anything like that going hey, our boss even was just basically saying she just did a bunch of trainings with us, and we would ask her if we had any problems. But since she left early, she was like, if you guys need any help with anything, just ask anyone around. And we're like, well, these training links are broken. And she's like, yeah, just do your best. And I was like, okay. So I listened to the Lord of the Rings, and I mean, they do their best to not let you dick around too hard. So they block Reddit, they block Spotify, they block YouTube, they block everything.
Right.
And I'm like, this is very annoying because I would like to listen to music when I'm just clicking through these, because I don't want to just plug into my phone in case someone's like, this dude.
Yeah, you're like, come on, I'm at work, but I got to be listening to some jams.
Right. Yeah. Well, and so I just download from Google. I would download things illegally onto my phone because I have an Android phone and I can do that.
The loophole.
No, and then upload it to Google Drive, download it back to my computer, and then put it through Windows Media Player, so it just looks like my headset's on.
Oh, I see.
People are like, "This guy's in the zone."
Yeah,
and I'm like listening to fucking
on your
Mac
like
Miller and jazz
on those
and
like
shit.
slides, like watching doing the training slides.
Well, and the funniest thing is that like the IT guys could see it.
Oh yeah,
and I fucked up because I use Google Play Music for like as my streaming service, and it wasn't blocked. And then the first day I got there, they blocked it because I was using it. And so I was like, ah, shit. So
like something happened. Yeah,
I worked around it. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I listened to music. I did the same thing with the chapters today. I downloaded both the chapters.
John, wait, good for you. Way to take initiative. And on your first week, you're learning how to game the system already.
Exactly.
And you're working, getting around work. Good for you. That is what corporate America is. That is the American dream. 9 to 5. That's how you do it.
I mean, honestly, it is though.
It really is.
Like that actually
waste the day.
Yeah.
It's just trying to do as little as humanly possible.
You just gotta be there.
Yeah. And I mean, my thing is like next Friday I'm gonna collect that paycheck and I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna be happy. It's hard out here right now because I am broke as a joke. I have like $100 in my name. Like
yeah,
not in
you
my
gotta
savings,
get the money for
no,
sure.
my car is fucked, dude. It's still fucked. Like it's so bad. My car like rumbles and shit. It's awful.
For our listeners, because I want to kind of tell this story a little bit. Because I happened to listen to one of our other podcasts, and in it, we basically were all discussing our future ski trip, and we were like it was like an absolute certainty that John wasn't going to come with us.
Yeah.
And like we were like, "Do you have a surprise?" And John was like, "Yeah, I have a surprise." And we're like, "You're coming on the ski trip?" And he's like, "No, that's definitely not going to happen." But yada. So for our listeners, just so you know, John did in fact end up coming on the ski trip.
Yeah. Despite all odds and despite his girlfriend's wishes.
No, that's on the last cast that we just uploaded, I think.
It is?
Like, oh shit, we can do this.
Yeah, actually, we did do that on the cast. That's
because
true.
I think that one got deleted though.
No, because that was the one I re-uploaded after I took out the thing. Because Hannah told me because she listened to that and she was like, it's really funny because she didn't believe me that I was like, hey, this is really spontaneous. I just realized I could go for like these couple of days and I could still make it to your house like right on time, right when you get there. I mean, which didn't happen, but like she was like, it was really weird to hear you not like that you weren't lying and that you figured that like it organically came about where we all realized like, oh shit, I can go.
Yeah, that's true. We did realize on the cast at that moment.
Yeah. And I mean, I like that moment. And that was very fun. But my car, I mean, for the listeners, my car got fucked. My battery got fucked. Someone like I couldn't close the sunroof for a little bit and it was snowing. Like it was fucked. And then I drove home, and then on the drive back home, my engine light came on and this EPC light came on. We took it to the garage. The garage was like, yeah, it's a problem with his battery. Got a new battery. Then it started driving even worse, and it's still fucked. Like it works for a good amount of time if I put transmission fluid in it, but then it just pitters out. Like at the start of the day, it'll be going good, and then so I basically have to make it until the 14th when I get my first check. And then after that, I'm dropping it off at the shop and just praying to God because I needed to get to work now.
Yeah, you need that.
And I mean, I needed to drive 30 minutes to go to the fucking gym. And that's why I got to also I got to get some sort of home gym set up. And Cooper, you'll like this because of the CrossFit thing. I'm pretty sure it's basically just going to be like a yoga mat, a jump rope, and like 2 kettlebells.
Yeah, kettlebells can be actually really good. If you have a couple different weights.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like some range.
I would recommend if you have any space or ability, just like free weights, just like if you could get a barbell even and just have like 1 or 2 plates, like that would be pretty useful.
I mean, the problem is like you've been in my house. There's no great place to work out in my house.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So right now I sectioned out a place in my attic and my garage, which is unheated, all that shit. And my plan is in a perfect world, once I get the weights and the jump rope, is to go up there and just like wake up at 6, be able to bust out a workout, get to work, after work, go to stand up, and then come back. Because right now I have to choose between stand up or working out, or like the past 2 nights I've actually been able to fit them both in, but I'll be getting home at 12 and then waking up at 7. I just feel awful.
Oh yeah,
it's just not good. I mean, but I've been going to shows, like I've been doing it, and that's something that I wanted to kind of start out today. Is that I'm pretty well on my way to getting all my New Year's resolutions done, or not on my way. So how?
I mean, it's definitely they're happening. I mean, you're definitely farther than Cooper. He is not thug at all.
No. My hair's long. I'm about to get the haircut.
When? Give me a date.
Within a week.
Within a week.
Before February 20th.
Before okay, that's a fact. So like next week we'll check in.
What that's all about.
All right. Yeah. Like that's great.
And it's gonna come with a lot more like sleeveless shirts and stuff. You know,
it's gotta be warm.
Right.
Dude, that's what his muscles are for. It's just to keep him warm. At least I think that's the way that works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Lean muscle. It keeps you warm.
Yeah.
But no, like sure. I was like on Sunday night I started the new job, or I was like going into the new job, and I was like, I listened to that, or one of the Joe Rogan podcasts with that Lex Fridman guy. Have you guys heard of that guy?
I heard that podcast too.
Cooper, do you know who he is?
No.
Doesn't he live in Boston, Jacob?
Yeah, he's like from MIT. He's a professor at MIT.
Basically, Cooper, he's like a young Elon Musk, and he's just a genius or whatever, and he's like trying to build the AI from Her, like the movie Her, that becomes sentient and is crazy. So he's like a very smart guy, and he was like, yeah, Elon Musk works 18-hour days and like pushes himself to the limit, and that's the only way he's able to get all this shit done. And I sat back and I was like, dude, I'm not like, I have all these goals. Like I wrote all of mine down. Like I actually added a couple more resolutions, but I was looking at them and I was like, I have no, like all it said was like, go to stand up once a week. And I'm like, that's an okay goal, but it's not a good goal, because if I fuck up, like I can't get back on track. And so I broke it down using like, have you guys heard of the SMART goal system or whatever?
Yeah.
No.
In school, where it's like you have to come up with like a concrete number, find something that's achievable. I forget what it stands for. Let me
small. I know what you mean though. I do that with wrestling. Like definitely try to make like wrestling goals for myself.
Yeah. So like I guess SMART is specific, is S, measurable is M, achievable is A, R is relevant, and T is time bound. So you have like a deadline of when you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And all of mine is at the end of the year. And I broke everything down into a minute, right? Or like minutes or words for writing. So one of my things was like, I wanted to finish my book or whatever that I was going to draft. And I figured out like a novel's around 60,000 words, and I'm 20,000 done. So I have to write however many words by the end of the year. I think it's like 1,500. And so I can actually track it now, which I'm really happy about.
So how many words you have to write?
Well, I mean, the thing is,
month
like
or week or whatever.
A week, it's 1,500.
Okay,
but I mean,
pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean that's a good amount.
That's doable.
Yeah, it's a nice achievable goal. And then work out like 5 days a week. Right now I'm on 3 days. Because there was like on Monday I got home from my first day at work, and I was fucked. I laid down to pet Hank because he was laying down.
Yeah.
And I fucking fell asleep, and I missed the stand-up show. And
you just fell asleep?
Yeah, I just fell asleep.
You just like lay down, and you and Hank just took a little nap. Yeah, what the fuck?
For like
you were so tired.
Because I was so tired. Because I was
Hank lulled you into that, man. He was like,
for sure,
that fat pit bull, just just
yeah, dude,
snuggling up with you.
Yeah, I mean, all he does is sleep, and when you see him do it, you're like, I guess I could close my eyes for 20 minutes. Like I have a little bit of time, and then I woke up and I missed the show, and I was pissed at myself, and I was like, well, fuck it. If I'm not gonna go to stand up, I'm gonna go work out. went to the gym at like 11 o'clock at night, which wasn't a good thing because I didn't wake up in time the next day. And so basically it's weird because I'm able to kind of fucking even it out, so to speak. And so like if one week I missed my stand-up show, the next week I can say, okay, I got to do 2 or 3. And that's kind of what I'm going for.
But you also got to have the stuff to, like, you got to write what you're going to say too.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I
kind of go for it. Yeah.
All last year, basically, just writing down jokes. And like, you know, when a funny thought pops into your head, you're kind of like, hey. The only difference between like a normal person and a stand-up comedian is they write that down and then say that in front of a crowd, and then the crowd either laughs or they don't.
Yeah.
Like writing jokes is like, I never sit down really and like write a joke. I'll sit down and organize it into something that I can say and like try and come up with segues.
Yeah.
So like,
tell us a joke right now.
Yeah, that's your fucking joke.
Okay, so I started trying to get back into doing yoga in the morning, but I realized like I'm just not built for it. And my mom is, and there's a bunch of people that are, but I'm not. Every single time I wake up and start stretching, I feel like a white girl in a strip club. You know, I know how to twerk, but I just lack the necessary components. I can pop it, but locking it and dropping it, I'm not very good at. And the thing is, I do it on stage, and I kind of pop and lock my butt when I do that and squat down. And it's fun. And it's been getting good laughs. I mean, it did last night, it did very well. But just shit like that. And I don't know. So that's, you go through it. And I'm just I'm stoked. I'm well on my way. I'm almost done with Brother Karamazov. Which is, I gotta say, I don't like it. I realize I don't like old books.
You must not be deep enough.
No, yeah, man, you just don't get it.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm not big.
I read the first like 2 pages of that book, and it was totally deep and amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude.
Hey, let's talk about Lord of the Rings, man. What's up with that?
Dude,
where are we at?
Oh, wait. Well, hold on. Let's run the little intro thing. Cooper, did you read?
Now, John, I'm not going to lie to you.
I
did listen to a little bit.
So here's what fucks me up: is how did you and Jacob get switched up on this?
Yeah, how do we switch up? I am ready for this conversation.
Okay, I actually have a good answer. So since I read all the Hobbit stuff, I was kind of like a little bit like, and then I also watched all the Hobbit movies and all the Lord of the Rings movies. I was kind of Lord of the Rings out, you know, whereas Jacob did none of that. So he's fresh going into Lord of the Rings, and he's ready to go.
I go in late, and I have energy. I have some wind on my back.
I got some Lord of the Rings stamina.
But the fucking problem with Jacob is that he's 8 chapters ahead.
That's true. I'm done with the first book.
So he can't even remember what the fuck we're talking about.
I can. Let's talk about it, dude. Just remind me, and I'll remember.
Yeah, I mean, I'll listen to a little bit of it too.
No, I mean, okay, so. For the listeners, we did 6 and 7? No, 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right. So
I mean, I started on chapter 7, so sure.
They're about to meet Strider, really. Is what it comes down to, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're not.
They're in Tom Bombadil's house, and they're gonna make their way to Bree.
Oh, okay.
It's Tom Bombadil's house, which I gotta say, listening to the fucking audiobook, the narrator clearly does the voice of Goldberry and doesn't change his voice like at all. And it was so fucking jarring for me because I was like, is Goldberry even talking right now? And I was like, what? And he's like, oh, she's so beautiful. And I just kept on imagining like this sweaty British guy being Goldberry.
Did he read your part?
Yeah, he just, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I made a note of it because I was like, this is just, it's so very clearly a man's voice.
Yeah.
Huh. And I was just like,
just the narrator. He's just like reading it.
But yeah, so when we left off, they were getting to Tom Bombadil's house. They heard great singing. They go into the threshold of Tom Bombadil's house.
Tom Bombadil is just, he's kind of like an elf in a lot of ways, you know? He's got a lot of elf energy, but he's like a dwarf. Man, yeah.
So what does Tom Bombadil represent?
He's magic as fuck, it seems like.
A lot, like that's so that like this is like a huge point of discussion in the Lord of the Rings community, because he's a character that clearly, like, in this chapter, he puts on the ring and like does fucking magic tricks with it, and like nothing happens. And that's crazy. Like,
yeah, he does take the ring. That's right.
Yeah, and like Frodo's like, bro, yeah. You gotta give me that ring back. And he's like, oh, I'll give it back to you. And he just fake drops it in his hand and then pulls it out behind his ear and shit like that.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, dude, it doesn't bother him.
It's not even.
He should have the ring. Tom Bombadil should.
Well, that's what they talk about in Rivendell later on.
They do.
But I think basically it was what my teacher explained it to me, because everyone asked this question, is that in the Silmarillion they talk about how all of the gods kind of like seeded things into the earth, and that's like how elves popped up, that's how men popped up, and depending on when you got seeded, like that's like your kind of status level, or like how mystical and like hip with it you are. Right. And Tom Bombadil is speculated because I think somewhere in one of the passages, and it might be in, because he has a couple like poems written about him and his little adventures, and one of them says that he's like older than the woods itself. Ooh. Which is a hard thing to be, because he's also a part of the woods.
Yeah.
And they say he's the master of the woods. And so basically my teacher explained it that he was essentially a weird kind of plant, like he was a seed that popped up, and he just happens to be like a fucking kick-ass guy, and that his whole world is so based in those woods that he just doesn't give a shit about anything else that happens inside or out of the woods.
Yeah, he's just like in that. He's been there for a long ass time.
Yeah, so like, and Nazguls could show up, and because they're in the woods, he would just fuck on them.
Yeah.
And the reason he doesn't care about the ring is because, yeah, it's unlimited power, but it doesn't have anything to do with the woods.
Yeah.
So he's just not into it at all.
That's
and
pretty
it just
neat.
doesn't affect him. And the thing is like, because they talk about it and like, and it goes on, and they'll talk about this at Rivendell, is that because Frodo's like, yo, we should give it to Tom Bombadil. He wasn't affected by it at all. And Gandalf's like, we could, but he would just forget about it in his pocket.
Yeah. He'd forget about it, and eventually the woods would be like taken over, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Too, right?
And it's just, because I
eventually
can't remember exactly what he says.
Like,
because he's just a god, or not even low-level god, essentially. Like, it weirdly sounds like he's stronger than Gandalf. Frodo talks about him like he's stronger than Gandalf. He's like, oh, I'm telling you everything, and I don't even tell Gandalf this shit.
Yeah.
And
it's also confirmed in Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2 RTS game. It's confirmed that Tom Bombadil is a powerhouse.
Dude, he is. He's actually so strong in that game.
He's really strong in that game.
But dude, my favorite part about these chapters, and this is, I swear, like, I'm so excited about this because I think this would be like a good, fun writing thing, is Tom Bombadil's like, yeah, I talk with Farmer Maggot all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, he told me all this shit, and me and him got on adventures, and I'm like, dude, we need to have a Farmer Maggot book.
True. That's a good idea.
Gotta have it, because
dude, you should write that, John. There you go.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how fun would that be? To write like a piece of, I mean, I guess it would be fan fiction, but like no one's writing about like Frodo banging Morty. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Tom Bombadil.
But it makes me just think of how much of a badass Farmer Maggot must be. If he's just
he gets out there.
Okay, so what would your first adventure with Tom Bombadil and Farmer Maggot be?
Dude, I don't need. It would.
What kind of stuff do they do?
Meeting.
How about the time that Tom Bombadil and Farmer Maggot, they rescue a princess?
Yeah, fuck off, Cooper. That's awful.
Yeah, shut up, Cooper.
Okay. I mean,
I was thinking like Tom Bombadil and Farmer Maggot like get drunk and smash some mailboxes or something.
Well, that's kind of what I was.
They get really rowdy.
What I would do is if I was doing the first chapter,
fantasy like, but whatever.
But no, if I was doing the first chapter, if I had to, because I thought about it a little bit, but I would have Farmer Maggot go into the woods looking for mushrooms.
Oh, I like that.
Because that's like the shortcut to mushrooms is a part of the book, and hobbits love mushrooms. So he goes in the woods looking for mushrooms and then eats magic mushrooms and meets Tom Bombadil and thinks he's like a vision and all this crazy shit. And then
that's a good idea.
Right, that would be fun. Because the thing is, it would have to be lighthearted.
Yeah.
Like if Tom Bombadil's around, the problem is I would hate to write in Tom Bombadil's voice. Because he just all the time.
How do you write it's hard to nail him down.
Tilly dog, like
like only Tolkien can write him
like
in a
it's
weird way.
Actually kind of annoying to listen.
Yeah.
Like
he's just like he's like super like nice and like helpful, but he's just kind of annoying, Tom Bombadil, you know?
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like
kind of just like Ned Flanders.
Yeah, exactly. He's
like a great example.
Like you're great, dude. All right, you just kind of
because just even thinking about him, he's like a conundrum. You know what I mean? You're like, what is he like? Who is Goldenberry? Like I guess she's an elf, but they say she's not an elf. Like, it's a weird thing.
She's just magic, and like she's his babe.
Yeah,
like,
and they just
gotta go see Goldberry. Like,
dude, they gotta have wicked sex.
Yeah,
Tom Bombadil shatter that girl.
Yeah, his raw god power.
just singing the entire time.
Yeah.
Tom Bombadillo's gonna make you bite the pillow, like.
Yeah, he has.
Oh my god. But no, so they go. All right, back to the summary. They
wonder
go.
If him and like Bjorn know each other.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Like they must have
fuck Bjorn up.
But they must.
Bjorn's
they must be
so
like.
Cool though.
Yeah.
No, Bombadil's way better.
No, Bombadil's like factually way better because
he's way more powerful. But
yeah,
you definitely know each other though.
Yeah, they're
probably
like they know.
In like forced meetings.
Here's what I'd say: Tom Bombadil's stronger, Bjorn cooler.
Yeah, I think Bjorn's pretty fucking cool.
But in a lot of ways,
I think watching The Hobbit ruined Bjorn for me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but Book Bjorn's dope.
Book Bjorn. Okay, book Bjorn's cool.
Because
yeah,
like,
cool
and when you think about it, there's a lot of connections between the two.
Yeah, they're like the same character.
Yeah,
they're basically like
the same thing happens in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's the exact same thing.
It's like they're in another forest. It's a bunch of hobbits. You're like, you're like dwarves.
Yeah, and then they go in there. And like they have like footrests and all that shit, except for Bjorn, they're using animals as footrests. And for Tom Bombadil, he just like has like honeycomb. I think they both serve honeycomb and shit like that. Because I remember the feast, because Tolkien writes so much about food, and he does a little Jesus reference where they talk about water that makes you drunk.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Frodo's like, man, I could have sworn I only had water, but I'm talking like I had wine.
Tom's like, okay, I saw served to all the hobbits.
Yeah.
Just like a low hand. So low hand just got us drunk without our knowledge. Just drugging the hobbit.
Are we saying that Bombadil's a pedophile?
Yeah, just kind of like
no, because
is that what we're
hobbits
claiming?
Are technically of age.
It
still doesn't mean
if someone has a fetish for midgets, are they a pedophile?
If they get them drunk and with the intention of,
well, they would have to be under. First off, pedophile underage.
They just wouldn't be a pedophile.
They could just be a rapist or a sexual
they could just be like a rapist.
Yeah. Now, is Tom Bombadil a rapist? Probably
a midget rapist.
And honestly, but if he was, you would never know.
You would never know because you'd be okay with it, apparently.
And Goldenberry would be good too.
Yeah, you drink a lot of that water wine.
Yeah, just have some of this water.
Goldberry's there,
But yeah, they go to Tom Bombadil. Then they basically leave, and they go to the Barrow Downs.
The where?
The Barrow Downs.
Where's that again?
They're called. I mean, it's right outside of the forest, and it's like. So I looked it up because I was like, why are there ghosts and shit in this area. And what I discovered is that it used to be a city populated by like the same type of humans that Aragorn is.
The Dunedain.
Right.
Yeah, the Dunedain. I didn't know if you guys remembered what Dunedains were, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
the
remember them.
Dunedain. And they
Come on,
got
dude. What do you think? I don't know who they are?
Yeah,
Well,
come
Jake-
on.
What the fuck, dude?
You
Like,
invented
well,
the
Cooper,
Dunedain.
you didn't read. and
I read the book.
I've played
while
enough of
ago.
the video games to know all these characters.
That's true. Jacob did play enough video games to know what Dunedain Rangers are.
All right.
But in any case, so there was a Dunedain city there that got fucked by a plague. Because apparently there's like a Black Death type thing that happened in Middle Earth. And like that's why like the hobbits went to the Shire too, is because like the plague set out, and then the Witch King, back when he was like really fucking bitches up, sent those spooky whites to go live in the Barrow Downs after all these people died. And
Okay.
they just took it over.
Two things. I want to say two things. First of all, really sounds like the Dunedain, i.e. Strider. It's based off of Americans, one with the earth, things like that, wiped out by a plague. That's what
Yeah.
I'm getting there. Even though I know Strider's also Jesus. So all that. And two, who is the Witch King? Because he sounds cool.
Oh, dude, the Witch King of Agnar, or is
Yeah,
it
let's get to
Agnar?
that.
He is basically back before Sauron was a thing, or it might have been after. No, it was back before Sauron was a thing.
Was it kind of like,
Remember when we talked about Melkor, Cooper?
yeah,
Yes.
Melkor was still around. He wasn't banished, and he was like, "I need a soldier to fuck up this elf men hybrid race thing that's living forever." And they're going all this place. They're so cool. They're strong, and these orcs kind of fucking suck. So
Uh-huh.
he corrupted this guy, and that along with the rest of the Nazgul, and basically he's just a super super evil dude that just corrupted other men, and then built armies of orcs and was like the mini Sauron before Sauron really came out swinging.
oh,
Or it might have been after his death. Basically, he's like equivalent to Sauron. And there's
Okay.
a lot of Jacob, if you remember, Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle Earth.
I
has
do
an
remember them.
expansion
I know the
pack.
Witch King. Yeah.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
the War in the North expansion, where basically
Right.
they talk about Agmar or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
like the
remember
Witch
name of it.
King expansion.
And and it's all about him because he's basically like the new dark power that kicks ass.
Right.
Sounds like the Lich King in World of Warcraft.
I mean, dude, it's almost the exact same thing, Cooper.
Yeah.
They're all in that style.
And I don't know if there's a lot like, that's definitely where they took inspiration for him. Like, even if you look at the crown of the Witch King and how it's described, it's like big, spiky, shadows his face so you can't see his eyes really. Like, they are almost one to one. They both ride dragons. Like, it's
Right,
basically
and then
the exact same thing.
You can even throw in the Night King there from Game of Thrones. Basically, every bad guy king who's evil. in
Yeah.
their head.
Who lives
They kinda
in the
have that
cold,
style.
Yeah.
and all that shit. Like, it's just, yeah. And I mean,
Crazy Tolkien, he kind of invented that in a way.
Did he?
I
You
mean,
think so? Kind of like that icy, maybe not.
Yeah,
well,
no,
I
it's,
mean,
it's a very
he-
good thought.
he rips a lot. Like, he ripped the idea for the Nazguls out, and I can't, like, I mean, the problem is like, you go back and when you think about like Mordor, like, what does Mordor sound like? Like, when you just hear like, oh, it's black and covered in lava. It's like, sounds kind of a lot like hell,
Yeah.
you
yeah.
know? So it's like, he was definitely inspired by a lot, and it's hard to say if he really came up with it. Like, I mean, I think the one thing he came up with for sure was like Hobbit.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
sounds
know
like you
about
just
the
saw a
other shit.
midget.
Yeah.
No, those are doors.
Yeah, because they don't have any souls. No. And I was watching all these videos about like what happens to the dwarves after the Battle of the One Ring, and like it's basically like they all die and don't go to heaven.
Yeah.
What?
Like literally, they're like, yeah, they only Gimli gets to go, and the rest like return to the earth, and like that's it. And like you're like, oh, okay.
When is that?
You have. I mean, that's Silmarillion. Like that's all that
Okay.
backstory stuff. Like even this Dunedain stuff. When I'm talking about like the Witch King coming,
Yeah,
that's a whole chapter in the Silmarillion. It's like
Oh.
the war against the Witch King and.
It's
the
too bad the
Dunedain.
Silmarillion just kind of sucks, you know?
Right. It
Dude,
seems really
you gotta
interesting.
work through those first parts. That's what I was saying.
Guys, maybe we should read the Silmarillion.
Oh my god. So
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I just want you to paraphrase it for us every week. Maybe you read the
That's what I'm saying.
Silmarillion.
I just like the little backstories, the little short stories.
Right.
I want to like,
No,
yeah, just like and make it better. Honestly, like add some stuff,
Right.
you know,
Give me
make
some
it
fluff.
entertaining.
That's why I wanted to do it.
Fan
I mean,
fiction.
And hopefully this will reignite you going back, or I don't know, or make you guys want to kind of dive back into it. And honestly, how I need to do it is I need to read through it basically in its entirety and say, okay, these chapters fuck, these chapters don't.
Sure.
And because like they're like the beginning of the world, you're like, oh, what's this about? Trees? Like I don't care. Like, and I get that, but then you're like, oh, Aragorn pops up, or hey, this is when Elrond came about, or like, this is the events that are going to be covered in the show. And so that's all interesting, and I gotta go back, and I honestly should look at that. But then Jacob, so did you? I mean, this is something that really bothered me. Actually, hold on. Well, I couldn't understand what the barrow down was, but yeah, I gotta go silence this dog.
He wants you to like he wants you to take another nap with him. He's like, get over here. Demanding.
Yeah.
So how far? You didn't get that far, did you, Cooper?
No, I like maybe listened for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I could tell.
Just wanted to get some in, so he wouldn't be
Yeah.
so mad. The big J man.
Yeah. The big J man. Yeah. We gotta please him, you know.
He is. He's like a dictator.
He is,
to our
you know?
to our listeners, like we're being held hostage. Like
Really?
he is so mean.
I know.
So what?
Oh,
What?
I'm not.
We were just talking about how great we are and how happy it is whenever you text us that we have to be here.
I gotta wrangle this basket of cats here, man. It's a hard thing to do. I'm shocked we started recording at 8 tonight.
I love it, man. I like
Good
it.
job. Good job on everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I was feet and back from the gym. Thank God I was able to get the full hour in. But yeah. So like, anyways, back to what I was saying. I couldn't understand what the Barrow White says, and he says like for like 2 minutes in the audiobook. They talk and like it sounds like the fucking Dementors from Harry Potter. Like, and he's saying words, and I was like, is he saying words? And I was like, oh shit, he is. And I tried looking it up and I couldn't. But that's one thing I did not love about the audiobook, and I hope more shit like that doesn't happen.
What,
But
you
other
just
than
didn't
that-
like the
Like with
effects?
every evil
Well, no,
character.
because you just couldn't hear it.
Oh yeah.
Like
know
I
what you mean.
couldn't. It sounded like Smoker without a voice box was talking.
Wait, whose
Like-
voice was that again?
The White, like
The
the
White?
the Barrow White.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I mean, because like Frodo falls, so like he gets snatched, falls asleep, wakes up. Apparently, he's about to be killed, and the White says something.
Oh,
And like
before
Frodo
like
tries to hack at him with a short sword.
right, and then he gets stabbed.
No, that's different. And then
Oh.
because that
Yeah, that's
happens
right.
at Weathertop.
Right.
Which Weathertop used to be like a place in the Barrow Down that the Dunedain used to hang out at, which is kind of how Aragorn knows it. But so where was I going? The White like says shit, and he wakes up, or he's already awake, and then he sees like everyone else sleeping, and then he starts singing Tom Bombadil's song, and Tom Bombadil just comes and saves the day.
But how? Oh, now I remember this. Yeah.
He like punches a hole through the cave,
Yeah.
and then the White's like, sunlight.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Which
what the
guys,
fuck? That was such a weird little like thing. I totally forgot until you mentioned it.
yeah, and like I was like, what is this guy saying? Like all this shit, and then I realized like, dude, that's the exact same fucking thing that happened with the trolls.
Yep.
What with Gandalf?
Oh yeah.
Where they're about to get eaten, they're about to be fucked, And then Gandalf just pops up out of nowhere
light
and shines light, and then the monster's like, "Arr!" and just goes away.
So true. You're right. It's a very, very similar like trope.
Yeah, and I was like, God, okay, all right. I mean,
I remember that was kind of like random,
Whites
like
are.
kind of like an unnecessary part of the movie or part of the book.
Yeah,
Them
I mean
getting saved
this
by Tom Bombadil.
entire Tom Bombadil thing seems like, at least to me in my head, how I go about it is that it's very much like right now Tolkien is super unsure of where he wants to kind of take the story, or at least to the like what kind of genre he's writing.
Mhm.
Like he's kind of walking this fine line between children's book and adult book that kind of breaks off kind of when Aragorn gets added.
Uh-huh.
But when you think like I think
Yeah, I was gonna say like these chapters just seem a lot more like The Hobbit than they do like Lord of the Rings.
yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
And weirdly, I think it's kind of I mean, when I think about just in the movie, I have to read it and actually go through it. But in the movie, I would say it's like if I'm thinking like events wise, I don't think it really would become like an adult book until Boromir's or Gandalf and then Boromir's death. Because it's almost the exact same thing as they go into the minds of the goblins in The Hobbit, right? And then they come out, and then they get attacked right after they come out of the mines. That's just like Moria. They
Yeah,
go
that
into the
makes
mines of
sense.
Moria, come out, and then they get attacked. And just like with The Hobbit, like that's kind of the turning point when the book becomes more actiony, when Bilbo grows a penis instead of just being a little shit. And it's just, I think it's. I'm excited to get to those parts. I'm really excited to read Aragorn's first part.
Who?
Aragorn,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
writer.
Yeah, it's really cool when he comes
I
in.
want to
Yeah,
meet. Yeah,
He's a bro.
I want to go into Bree. One thing I loved this little callback was when Frodo says, "My name is Underhill." In Bree, he goes, "Hey guys, don't say the name Baggins in Bree. Like, don't fuck me up here."
Yeah, yeah.
He says, "My name's Underhill." Well, in The Hobbit, when Bilbo is talking to Smaug, he goes, "I am a barrel rider and I live under the hill." And I have to go back and check, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure at one point in time, Smaug calls him.
Calls him Underhill?
Yeah.
Oh,
or like
really?
Say, you or he goes, "You who lives under the hill," or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Actually, I can buy that. That sounds
Okay.
right to me.
Yeah, right? Doesn't that sound nice? And then
Yeah.
that's the thing is that, and then you think about it like, oh, Bilbo probably told Frodo that, and then
Yeah.
Frodo was probably like, oh, Underhill, what a great name.
Yeah, that's me.
Right.
Yeah. And so it's all, I think that's a fun little callback, but that's kind of where we are up until the story.
Nice.
Where
Good, we did it.
We're on our way to Bree. Things are about to get juicy.
Juicy.
And I think like that's kind of where the plot picks up a little bit more, and I'm excited about it. And guys, we talked for just a solid 45 minutes about nothing essentially but the Lord of the Rings. Actually,
Yeah.
that's not true. We talked for like 15 minutes about working out and New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. That's
Good
it.
on us.
Yeah.
Right? No, but then also update on the social media aspect of this podcast. Our current meme is sitting at a whopping 3 upvotes.
Nice,
And
dude.
that's me and Jacob and
And
who
you.
else?
Did you upvoted too, Cooper?
I did, yeah.
That's
So,
that's everybody then.
Yeah, dude. I
That has one to
That's
begin with.
I
no
no.
upvotes.
No. I think we got a few downvotes
Oh.
because I got a couple of my comedian friends to upvote it, and I saw them upvote it. Like it was sitting at 5 for a little bit.
Oh, we got a couple of downvotes.
What?
Yeah.
Someone was like, "This offends me."
No, they're like, "This is
downvote
a
it.
shit meme."
Yeah, they just thought it was bad.
And I mean, I get it. And one thing I realized was that I didn't have on the flash drive that I was using to upload these, the exported versions with the watermark on them, which is why I uploaded the one that I chose to upload, but we'll be uploading the others that throughout the next couple of days. And then I have 4 more in the bank, and the rest of my night I'm going to be doing laundry. I really have to eat food. I've only eaten overnight oats and a fucking egg bite today. I'm so hungry. And intermittent fasting's a bitch and a half, man. Everyone else at work is like, "Hey, do you want to come to work or come to lunch with us?" And I was like, "No."
You don't eat lunch?
I eat lunch at fucking 2 p.m.
I'm sure they're like, you need to eat.
No, people are like, "Oh, you're intermittent fasting, good for you." And I'm like, I wouldn't really call it good for you type of situation. I'm kind of fucking
That's why you're so
starving
tired.
myself because I'm trying to lose weight here. Yeah, so that's fun. But no, I eat out of mason jars every day now.
Oh.
I eat overnight oats just straight out of the jar, and then I make egg bites, if you know what those are.
Egg bites?
Egg bites. They're popular at Starbucks now. They're
Just like a
trendy.
hard-boiled egg thing?
You break you crack a bunch of eggs, mix it all together with some cheese, and then this time around I put 2 small pieces of bacon in it. In the future, I'm gonna really crisp the fuck out of some bacon up, and then put a lot more bacon in there, and then some vegetables, just because all that shit. But you essentially boil the egg and all the cheese and the vegetables and shit in mason jars, and they solidify and they cook, and the mason jar seals it for a good amount. It like stays good for like a bunch of weeks, or not a bunch of weeks, but like a week in the fridge, maybe a week and a half. So it's like a good way of meal prepping, like because again, in addition to like intermittent fasting, I'm trying to not eat as many calories, because at the end of the day, weight loss is a calorie game, and overnight oats low calorie,
Yeah.
and fucking eggs aren't super low calorie, but it's a small amount, and it allows me to
Eggs are
portion
definitely
them
low
out.
calorie, dude.
They're lower, but oats are like eating wallpaper, man.
Oats are good for that.
Oats are good for that. But yeah, how have you guys been doing?
John, I'm looking at the memes. The one about the blunt is really good.
Do you
How's that
like
one
that?
go?
Yeah, that one's funny.
It's on the same meme thing that I posted.
Okay.
So like as I roll them out,
That one's gonna get some upvotes.
well, that one I'm gonna post in our trees and our Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Because the stoners in our trees will love that.
I like the Tom Bombadil one too.
Yeah, I saw that happen live.
The blunt one is good, dude.
Yeah, Jacob, I thought of you doing that.
Yeah.
And then I don't have a good one for you've been officially labeled this disturber of the peace.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean it's not great, it's not bad, but I gotta come up with something better.
Yeah. maybe like say the top label should be like when you can't stop jerking off at work.
Well, I was also thinking when you wake up your girlfriend with a boner. But that's not as good. The wording, like there are good memes there, and that's a tried and true meme. Like a bunch of people have also taken that scene.
How about when you can't stop jerking off at the library?
I like that.
I like the Tom Bombadil one too, John.
Yeah, isn't the Tom Bombadil one great?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Tom, we need you to carry the ring into Mordor, or darkness will envelop the world.
Even you can extend on that one. You can have Nancy Pelosi just be the fellowship, and it says fellowship, fly to Mordor, Gandalf, and then she rips it
someone
up.
already did it.
Oh, really?
That was my first thought. But here's what I've realized is that if we really want to get these posts good, we gotta drop them in more specific subreddits than the LOTR one. That's why, like, the Tom Bombadil one, or the Tom Bombadil one, there's a whole Tom Bombadil subreddit that has upvoted way shittier memes than that. And so if I post it there, there's guys that actually might be like, oh, maybe we should check out the podcast. Like, those are the type of losers.
Okay.
That's how we get listeners on the podcast.
Well, and then also, like, again,
Yeah,
going back to the our trees thing, like posting it, because you can cross post on Reddit, especially if it's original content. Like, no one really cares.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's fun. Like, I wanted to put I don't know where to put the Patrick Mahomes one, but yeah.
I have an extension for the Patrick Mahomes one, and it's really only funny to people who understand Lord of the Rings and what happened in the playoffs. But so you can use that same picture of Mahomes kind of smoking the pipe like Gandalf. But so at the top, you have to have the score of each of the playoff games when the Chiefs were down. So they were down by double digits in every game. So they were down 24-0 the first one. They were down 17-7. And then they were down 20-10. And show how much time is left. And then show Patrick Mahomes underneath and say a wizard, or just say, like, make a reference like a wizard is never late. He scores precisely when he wants to. You know.
Oh, that's a good idea, dude. That's a good one.
One thing I was thinking of, but I don't have the wording for it yet, is
you should make that one, Cooper, and post it.
When Sam
try
goes,
to make it, sure. Tomorrow.
At the end of Lord of the Rings, he goes, I can't carry the ring, but I can carry you. And, like, there's some joke in there about Super Bowl rings.
Oh yeah, that you can make any sports reference to that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I still got to make the Snickers one. The Snickers hole, it's working. I really like that one.
Yeah, that's good, dude. I think those will work too. Some good mainstream people will get that too.
Well, and I haven't seen any memes involving the Snickers hole.
So and John, have you developed your persona as a comedian anymore since last week?
We all know where this is going.
And why don't you guys spitball this while I go let Hank back inside 1 sec?
I mean, we know what needs to be done, Cooper.
We know what needs to be done.
It sounds like John is going in the exact opposite direction to his own betterment.
Here's the deal. We gotta get him off intermittent fasting. He's gonna get too skinny.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
He's gonna be gaunt up there on stage.
If anything, we want him to eat for at least 18 hours a day and not eat for only 6.
Yeah.
And if that, wake up in the night and just eat some more too.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, that's what's gonna get it big. That's what's really gonna help. And with that, there's gonna be more time to sit on your ass and make memes. And that's what you need. That leads to like some good personal satisfaction.
But yeah, so definitely get fat. But the other thing is, some sort of, well, I guess he's working in an office. He could be like Kevin in The Office.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
No,
that's what I was thinking.
And he likes to make food, chili.
Yeah,
thing you're into.
You could be Kevin or Toby.
How about Jim?
No, that's not gonna happen.
Who'd you say?
Unless you get really, really skinny on intermittent fasting.
That's the plan.
That won't be nearly as funny though, John.
Although it would only be funny in terms of getting skinny if you got like gaunt, like unhealthy skinny. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, just extreme. Yeah, like extreme. You just gotta be extreme in some way or the other. You need to have a funny look.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe just a bad haircut. Yeah, maybe just a bad haircut, honestly.
A really bad one. We can get them together.
You guys both get mullets.
My hair currently is pretty TikToked, I gotta say.
What does that mean?
It looks like a TikToker's hair.
Yeah, what the fuck does that
very
mean?
Young. I look like a 12-year-old with this haircut. All right, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Instagram. I'm gonna get tomorrow.
All right. I mean, do it at your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
But
To have
I
fun.
actually have to go and eat at some point in time before 10 p.m.
Yeah, me too.
And I've been very hungry, and I just don't eat during the cast. Like some
Yeah.
people we know.
Yeah.
But no, so see you later, our loyal listeners.
Yeah.
And here we go.